Today we are going to listen to the story about the infamous KM Nanavati case of 1959. India that time became obsessed with the saga from the moment a decorated naval commander, Kavas Manakshaw Nanavati, entered the bedroom of his British wife Sylvia's lover Prem Ahuja and shot him dead and surrendered at a police station in Bombay. The story begins with a man named KM Nanavati. He was second in command of the Indian naval ship Mysore. He was married to a woman named Sylvia and had 3 children with her. Due to the nature of his service, Nanavati and his family had lived in many different places before shifting to Bombay. It was in Bombay that they were first introduced to Prem Ahuja through common friends. He had to go away from Bombay regularly as part of his service, leaving his wife and children behind. In his absence, a friendship developed between Sylvia and Ahuja, which later took the form of an extramarital affair. It was after April 18, 1959, when Nanavati returned from his ship. He noticed that his wife was aloof and unresponsive. He sensed something is wrong and asked her. The answer to this question shattered the soldier's entire life. His wife confessed that she is involved with another man. One would assume that he would become aggressive. He would fight, he might cry, but he didn't do anything. He didn't say anything to his wife. पर ये तूफान से पहले की खामोशी थी. वो सिपाही चुप बैठने वाला नहीं था. Few days later, Nanavati drove his children and his wife to the cinema and promised to pick them up later. He then drove to his ship, from where he obtained a revolver and 6 rounds on a false pretext. He put these inside a brown envelope and from there he drove to Ahuja's office. On not finding him there, Nanavati drove to his flat. On reaching Ahuja's flat, he confirmed his presence from a servant. And after receiving the confirmation, he went to Ahuja's bedroom while carrying the brown envelope which had the revolver. Nanavati closed the bedroom door behind him and asked Ahuja about his intentions concerning his wife and children. When he didn't receive an honorable and a desired answer, he is alleged to have shot Ahuja, which resulted in his death. From there, Nanavati rushed to the nearest police station to confess about his crime. Nanavati was a decorated officer of naval services. He belonged to a minority and he had just killed his wife's boyfriend. Everyone was talking about it. Nanavati's trial became a public outrage. That was the era of jury trials. The jury in Greater Bombay Sessions Court had only one task: to pronounce a person as guilty or not guilty under the charges. They could neither indict nor punish the accused. Nanavati contended that he killed in the heat of passion and he had no motive or prior intention to kill that man. But he had to prove it before the jury and the judge. Nanavati started speaking and his defense changed the entire judicial system forever. He said that he didn't go to Ahuja's flat to kill him. He wanted to know if Ahuja intends to marry Sylvia. Nanavati said, "I asked him, do you really love Sylvia? Because if you do, I shall divorce her and she can marry you." But he laughed at my face. But Ahuja said that if he were to marry every woman he has been with, he would have 100 wives. He said, "My wife is a woman of bad virtue. She slept with him while she was still married to me." He called my wife a woman equivalent of a prostitute. Nanavati said, "I requested him not to do that because it is my wife, they are my children. Their life would be ruined. I would move away from everything, but she would have to face the ridicule of the society every single day if you do not accept her as your wife." Nanavati ने कहा, "मैंने अहूजा को इसलिए नहीं मारा क्योंकि उसका मेरी वाइफ के साथ अफेयर चल रहा था." He called my wife a prostitute. And that was his lifestyle. He used to sleep with multiple women, make them believe that he loved them, and then discarded them like trash, destroying their lives. I did not kill him to avenge. I killed him to save my wife's honor and the honor of every woman who was used at the hands of Ahuja. I killed a selfish womanizer who had ruined lives. I killed to save the lives of those who he would have ruined if he remained alive. When Nanavati finished speaking, the court went speechless. Nanavati's defense was published in every newspaper. He was portrayed as a man who accepted his wife even when she broke his heart, who stood by her and allowed her to marry the man she actually loved. Nanavati was not a killer, he was a hero. The defense presented Nanavati as an upright and honest officer who was dedicated to the service of his country, away from his lonely and vulnerable wife. Ahuja was portrayed as an immoral philanderer who seduced Sylvia. While the saga of love and honor played out in court, outside the Parsi and Sindhi communities to which Nanavati and Ahuja belonged respectively, gave their own spins to the narrative. The public seemed to be tilted in favor of an honest officer who tried to protect his wife's honor. The defense had claimed that Nanavati had gone to Ahuja's residence to ask if he would marry Sylvia if the couple got divorced. Everyone was waiting. सब देखना चाहते थे कि नानावती की डेस्टिनी का क्या रिजल्ट निकलेगा, क्या वो मर्डरर है या हीरो. Finally, after this debate, discussion and a huge media trial, the jury came out with its verdict and they declared Nanavati not guilty for murder. Mr. Ratilal Bhaichand Mehta, the sessions judge, considered the acquittal of Nanavati as ridiculous and took a historic decision of overturning the jury's decision. He referred the case to the Bombay High Court for a retrial. On March 11, 1960, the High Court found Nanavati guilty of killing Ahuja and sentenced him to life imprisonment. Within hours, the governor of Bombay issued an unprecedented order and suspended the life sentence until the Supreme Court disposed of the defense's appeal. In September that year, the apex court said the governor had overreached his powers and struck down his order to suspend the sentence. 3 days later, Nanavati was sent to prison. But he was granted parole on health grounds in 1963. This is a landmark judgment that becomes even more relevant in the present times where media trials have become a common practice. This judgment goes on to show that the law of the land is always going to be above popular public opinion and influential connections. It is the duty and responsibility of the courts to uphold the principles of the rule of law and natural justice. The Supreme Court in KM Nanavati versus State of Maharashtra showed that no one is above the law.